It is the dawn of the 24th century, and battle mechs are the most powerful war machines humanity has constructed. And today, I'm going to show you how to paint them using just this Army Painter BattleTech starter set. My name's Angela, and you're watching Hobby Night. If you've been following me on my other social media pages, you'll know that I recently really got into BattleTech. And I've even had some of the miniatures from the starter set in my collection for a while. But until I got a couple games under my belt, really started learning the mechanics of the game, and also about the mechs themselves, I hadn't really seen them as a cool option to paint until now. But I didn't want to just treat this as I do a lot of my other painting tutorials and use my entire painting collection as my options for how I could apply color to these mechs. Instead, I want to try treating it as if I was newer to the hobby. So I picked up this BattleTech specific starter set from the Army Painter, and today I'm going to be painting up 4 unique mechs using 4 unique designs, just using the colors in the set. So without further ado, let's begin. The first battle mech that I'm going to be working on is a Griffin, and to help myself get comfortable with working on these models, I'm going to go with the color green because it's one that I'm very familiar with, I really like it, and I know how to build off of it. So I'm going to be using the olive green color tone because this set actually comes with 2 really good greens, an olive green, which is what I'm working with, and then a brighter green that I think is actually more akin to orc flesh, which also is lovely, but not really the vibe I'm going for. As I looked at the Griffin, he really gave me military vibes. As an accent color, I'm gonna go with yellow, because I just think yellow and green look really good together, and I think it'll make a very just appealing vibe. It also still gives it that real military feel. I don't know, I just really like this color scheme together, and as I was working on him, I decided to name it the Green Hornet. Now, as I was progressing on the Green Hornet, he has these really big panels on his shoulders, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to do some freehand, because I hadn't done that in a little while, and I wanted to continue to practice. And since I'm going with a more military look, I'm going to go ahead and give him some numbers for identification. I'm going to do 0-5 on him because 5 is my favorite number. Now, as I was working on this model, there's one thing that I've learned about this paint set. The yellow that comes in it is incredibly transparent. And it meant that all this yellow that I was painting on the Green Hornet took way longer than I anticipated. But when it was done, it does look really good. I also decided to paint up all the joints, a lot of the weapons, and his hands, all using the metallic that came in the set, because I just thought it made sense for these items to be in a raw metal rather than a painted metal look. Finally, for the visor, I mixed up a yellow and a red because I wanted to go with an orange color tone because I thought it would pop really well against the green, and I just have a thing for orange visors. I just think it looks really cool. For my second mech, which is a cute little Commando, I'm going to go with a winter color scheme because this set comes with 2 different blues as well as a white paint, and I think it's gonna be perfect for this. It also allows me to call him Little Blizzard, which I just think is adorable. So to start off with Little Blizzard, we're going to go with a deep blue as my base tone. I'm going to layer this up twice because I really want it to be a very deep ocean blue color. Once I'm satisfied with how the base tone has gone on, we're gonna come back in with our light blue as well as a pure white and pick out a bunch of the different panels that this particular mech has on it. I love the way the Commando looks. I love all the various panel lines. They're super crisp, super clean, and they take my light blue and white paints extremely well. When I'm done with those color tones, I go back in, just like I did on the Green Hornet, and apply some metallics to the bot, specifically on the hands, the guns, and the joints again, and then I come to the visor. And I wanted to make this guy look a little angry, so I'm going to use a pure red for the visor this time instead of the orange, even though I really do like the orange cockpit color tone. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump into the video to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, especially if you're enjoying the content that you find here. And if you're into the spicier side of the hobby, well, my Only Fanatics VIP page is currently 50% off through the end of the month for new subscribers. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, use the link in the video description below, and I hope to see you there. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video. The third mech is going to be a Nighthawk. And when I heard the name of this mech, my brain immediately went, I'm going to use the purple that comes in the set on this particular model. But after doing some testing with the purple in that set, it's actually not really a purple at all. In my opinion, it is a dark, dark pink, almost magenta. But don't worry, I'm still going to be using this color on the Nighthawk because I had a completely different idea as soon as I saw that deep pink color tone. I want to access my magical girl vibes and do this in simply two colors, the pink and a white. I think this is going to look amazing, and because the Nighthawk also has some great large panels that have some opportunity for freehand on them, I'm going to come back in and we're going to do some freehand. But this time, instead of it being numbers like I did on the more militaristic Griffin, I'm going to be doing some cute heart designs because we're going with a magical girls theme. And also, I just wanted to call out that I had to name this mech because I couldn't get it out of my head as I was working on it, the Love Shack. Just the bulkiness of it and then the pink and white color tone, for some reason that just kept coming into my head, so it is officially deemed the Love Shack. Now once the pink and white are on there, we add in the metals and then we come back to the visor, which this time I'm going to come back in with the dark blue color tone that I used on Little Blizzard to tint the visor. I just think it works really well. It still sticks with that magical girl vibe, but it doesn't go too masculine or anything like that, which is really not what I'm going for with this particular mech. I love how the Love Shack turned out, and we have just one more to work on. Some of the footage you've been seeing has been me recording while I was live on camera with my chat. And as I was working on some of these miniatures, they knew that I was going to be working on a Wolverine as the last one. And someone in chat suggested that I do up the Wolverine model as Wolverine from X-Men. And since X-Men 97 just launched on Disney Plus and I've been really enjoying it, I thought, why not go with that classic Wolverine look of yellow and blue and apply that to my Wolverine mech? Now, because I don't have a good way to apply this yellow because of how transparent it is, I also thought this would be a great opportunity for me to try a technique that I've seen other people do, but I've never actually explored myself. And that's by putting pink beneath the yellow as a foundation to get a brighter yellow and have to do less layers. I wanted to see if this actually worked, so that's exactly what I did. First, I painted up the Wolverine in the exact same pink color tone that I did the Love Shack, and then after that, I went ahead and started painting all of the yellow on. This did still take way longer than I wanted it to, but by the end, it ended up looking really good. It looked even better once I had cleaned up all the areas that I wanted to be blue with some white first, and then applied that color tone, the blue, over all of it. And he suddenly came together. The mech looked amazing. And then the final thing to do was to top off some of the details with some metallics, just like I had done on all the other mechs, and paint up his visor. Now for the visor this time, I actually tried to do something a bit different. I still put the metallic down beneath it like I always do, but this time I used white as my glaze because I wanted to give him that sort of white look that you get in his eyes sometimes in the cartoon. And I think it worked. I do like the look of it, but I might find a better way to do it in the future. Finally, all the mechs are done and we can work on their bases. starter set, I noticed that there was a nice brown color tone that I have not used previously on any of my mechs. And I thought this would be a perfect way to base my models and give them a basic dirt base. This also allows me to put other texture paints over top later on if I so decide, but this way they're also battle ready. And finally, with their bases done, we can look at the completed Lance. I have completed my challenge of painting up 4 unique mechs using just the paints in an Army Painter BattleTech starter set. What do you guys think? Did I succeed? Do they look as cool as I feel like they do? Because this was incredibly fun. Sometimes it's nice to go in and limit your colors to a specific number so that you really have to challenge yourself on how you're approaching these minis. And I found myself doing that a lot while I was working on these BattleTech miniatures, especially since they are so blocky because they're big, nice, chunky robots. I really had to pay attention to all of the sides and angles that all of the pieces on the robots actually lined up on. It made painting quite a challenge, especially with such a limited color palette, but overall it worked great. I also really want to compliment Army Painter for including some speed paints in the set, because originally, even though it says it very blatantly on the box, I didn't read that, and I didn't realize that there were going to be speed paints in the set. I thought it was just going to be all traditional opaque acrylic paints, and I was so excited. I think it's great to combine speed paints with standard acrylics. I do that all the time, so the fact that they're including that in a starter set meant for beginners makes me so happy. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little painting challenge, and maybe you try to challenge yourself in the same way in the future. Until then, I wanted to thank my patrons and also my YouTube members for supporting the channel and making it so content like this can continue to happen. Without you guys being here, we just wouldn't be doing this, so thank you very, very much. I have been Angela, and I hope you have a wonderful hobby night.